for answering in the questions box. All righty, so let's get started. So my name is David Kushner. That's me up here in the top left-hand corner. This is our team here. Mark Miller is the owner. Rory takes care of all the daily activities. Sergio is our programmer. Charles does our support, along with Brock, and David and Craig run other trading rooms. All right, so let's get the disclaimer out of the way. If you have any questions at all, just type them in the questions box and we will answer every one of them. So basically the disclaimer is saying that we're not giving any buy, sell, hold recommendations. We're not financial advisors, nor do we even want to be. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Everything I talk about in this webinar is for educational purposes only or my personal trading. All right, so who am I? So my name, like I said, is David Kushner. I've been trading the markets for over 20 plus years. I've traded stocks, options, futures, Forex. My background was I had an automotive parts business that I started when I was 18 years old, and I had that business for 28 years before I sold it in 2005. And since then, I've just been a full-time trader. So like most of you, you probably have a whole shelf or hard drive full of trading indicators, systems that came with a lot of empty promises of helping you become more profitable and more consistent trader. So personally, I have like 3 hard drives full of indicators, trading methodologies, educational materials that I do not use. All as I trade with and been for the last 3 years or more is the Money Flow Tracker. So when I saw the webinar, just like you guys are on the webinar with me, that Mark Sachs did, and I saw the Money Flow Tracker system, I quickly realized that this methodology is not based around the same old indicators that everybody teaches, but based more on mathematical modeling and triple and quadruple screen analysis. And I'll explain about the triple and quadruple screen analysis. So now I only trade with institutional money flow. So when I talk about money flow or order flow in this webinar, I'm only talking about institutional order flow. And it's made me much more profitable, much more consistent trader. And now I'm running over a 70% win-loss rate. So this is what we're going to be discussing. How the Money Flow Tracker software works, the high probability setups, the unbreakable rules to follow, how I trade breakouts and sidestep losing trades, and how to pass the evaluation and become a funded trader. All right, so those who stayed to the end of this presentation, it's about 45 minutes or so. We have a very special discount and we have some quick action bonuses for you. All right, so I've always thought about this over the years of my trading career, like why do some traders succeed while others don't? In the world of trading, the difference between success and failure could be as stark as day and night. Let's delve into the reasons why some traders strut and other traders stumble. The first thing, lack of a trading plan. Everybody says you gotta have a trading plan, you have a trading plan. Most traders don't have a trading plan. Successful traders meticulously plan their moves. They know what they'll trade, when they'll trade it, and how they do. So really, without a solid trading plan, it's like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly. It's like when you get in your car and you want to go somewhere. You have a plan. You get in your car, you go. You know where you're going. You know how you're going to get there. You know what roads you're going to take. Well, trading is kind of the same way. You don't have an edge. An edge is a unique advantage in the market. It could be a specific strategy. It could be your technical analysis. Could be understanding a particular asset. Traders that do not have an edge often struggle. So our edge is triple and quadruple screen analysis along with institutional order flow. So the psychological challenge, trading is much about psychology. It's about numbers. It's about fear and greed, or FOMO, fear of missing out, and impatience can sabotage even the best strategies. So developing a mental resilience, or as I like to call it, a mental mindset, and emotional discipline in trading is crucial. So if you take a trade and it's a proper setup and it doesn't work, okay, easy to let that one just slip off, slide off your back. You did your best, you followed your plan, you followed your rules. Sometimes the market just does not cooperate. All right, and over trading. This is a big one. Over trading leads to, exhaustion, poor decision making, quality over quantity. Well, in the trading room, we have a saying. We're not here to make trades, we're here to make money. And then the last one is markets evolve. Traders need to adapt to market conditions. This summer, the last few months, we've been trading gold on a smaller bar size. Now gold has become a lot more volatile, so we increased the larger bar size, right? So, remember, trading success isn't guaranteed, but if you understand these pitfalls, it increases your odds. So what do you need to create trading success? First thing you need is software that provides you with a competitive edge. And that edge that you have needs to track the direction of money flow, institutional money flow. The third thing you need is etched in stone rules to follow. And this eliminates discretion. So basically, if you have a proper setup, either you do or you don't. There's no gray area. And the fourth thing, which I think is the most important thing, and that we've been practicing this week exceptionally well, is patience. Patience to let the trade set up. All right, so I'm going to break down the system in detail, but let me show you a couple trades that we've taken. This was an option trade on AMC. This was a trade on GME. There's a trade on 30-year bonds. Now this is 41 ticks at 31.25 a tick, right? And we have to close the position before the market closes, because when you trade with a prop firm, they want you out of the market before the market closes. All right, here's one on the euro currency. So it's likely that you have a problem making money. From the poll, most of you are having a problem making money. And why? Because you don't have the proper tools to manage your trade. You overtrade, you revenge trade. Revenge trading is a very difficult thing to stop once you get into that mode. So we don't get into that mode. You lack consistency. You trade with indicators that lag price. You lack a mathematical proven trade methodology, and all these things lead to blowing trading accounts. So my commitment to you today is to bring this to an end, to bring these things to an end and have you become a profitable trader. All right. So why do they say that 95 to 98% of traders go broke? Because they trade with the same old things that everybody teaches that basically don't really work very well. Some things work, some things don't, right? But price action, MACD, Elliott wave, Fibonacci's, price patterns, you know what? They have no future predictive properties. Now, I am not saying that the money flow tracker can predict the future. But when you have a proper setup, you have a very high probability trade. So Mark Sachs has over 15 plus years in the study of applied mathematics. He did work for the US Navy, for the US Army, for some other big corporations, and it allowed him to engineer the money flow tracker software system and trade methodology that can radically change your trading performance. And we have over 500 traders between the 3 trading rooms that trade shoulder to shoulder every morning. But before we get started, I would like to share my personal trading journal with you because I believe in transparency. So I use this program. It's an online trading journal. I'm going to load last year's data because I have more data. And every day, what I do is I do my performance report in NinjaTrader. Then I go to the trades tab and I export all the trades into an Excel spreadsheet. And then what I do is I just go here, I click here. This was the one for today. I already uploaded, so I'm not gonna, so it comes right from NinjaTrader. So look, it even has the NinjaTrader trade ID here. And this was an equity curve. So here was an equity curve from last year. Last year we made $95,000. We started out with, well, no, actually we made $103,000. We started out with $10,000 account, right? But you know, I'm going to show you something here. So we have to go back. Let's go back to, let's say July. All right. So you see there's a lot of days here. These are Saturday and Sunday over here. I don't pay attention to those. But we see that there's a lot of days with no trades. Well, this July 4th was a holiday. The market was closed. So look, we didn't trade on July 3rd. We didn't trade on the 11th through the 17th. I was on vacation. So I didn't trade that week, and we didn't trade on the 26th. So how many days didn't we trade? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to count July 4th. It would make 8, right? But look what we did in July of last year. 89.86. And we didn't trade 7 days. So I'm often asked, why didn't you trade 7? Why didn't you trade 7 days? Well, because we didn't have any setups. And if we don't have a setup, we're not taking a trade. So I'm going to switch over to this year's data, and I'll show you this is the equity curve for this year. Right? We started out with $117 loss, and then we just gradually grew the equity curve. It has little bumps and dips because not every day is a winning day. You know what I mean? But overall, it's a pretty solid equity curve. Now, if I go here, I have to go to 2024 now. Okay, this was January. So January and February were kind of slow. We did 5,500 in January and 5,000 in February. And then March, we did 11,000. April, we did 6,200. And so far this month, we're up 3,000. But this month, May, look at this. We didn't trade Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Why? Because the markets were so choppy, the volume was so low, the institutions were not trading. They really weren't trading very much. So if we don't have a setup, we don't take a trade. But look at our win rate, 74.34%, and our profit factor is almost 3 to 1. And that's why we have the success that we're having. Look at April. We didn't trade, a couple days here, but April we had a decent month, 62.97. And then if you look at March, right, we had a great month in March. We didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So, and the reason why we didn't trade was we had no setups. So the point is that you don't have to trade every day to make a good income from trading, right? Because the days we didn't trade, most likely would have been losing days. So because when the markets are choppy, that's when you lose money, right? When the markets are trending, it's easy to make money. So this is my trade journal, and I wanted to share that. So Gord has a question. Are the presented dollar amounts results based on max drawdown of 2,500? It's based on my prop accounts, on my funded accounts. I have 6 funded accounts, and some days I trade 1. If the markets are choppy, I might trade 1. If the markets are trending, I'll trade all 6. All right. So what do the markets consist of? Many small retail traders are the small marbles, and the big purple marble is the institutional traders. So if you know that retail traders lose money, don't you want to trade with the institutional traders? I do. That's all I trade with. It's institutional traders. So the money flow tracker software, let's get into what it is, right? It has three key metrics that determine money flow. The first key metric is triple screen assessment of order flow. What kind of order flow? Institutional order flow. The next one is triple screen assessment of correlative markets using our AI engine. And the third is triple screen assessment of the Laguerre that we use for momentum. So what do I mean by triple screen assessment? You know what? I like to look at it this way. 3 time frame buy, 3 time frame sell means we have 3 time frames in agreement, right? The highest, the mid, and the trading chart have to be in agreement. All right, 1 second. And I'm here. All right, so what do we look for? Triple screen assessment of order flow, right? When I say order flow, most people think of these candles with all the numbers inside the candle on the left, on the right, on the bottom, on the side, on the top, upside down, sideways, and backwards, right? It's virtually impossible for you to make really good trading decisions and try to decipher all this. So what did we do? We made it super simple, right? I'm going to pull over a chart so I could show you, right? So this is a chart. So what we did was when you have a green outline candle, means that the delta of this candle is positive. So again, I like to keep things in simple terminology. You have a green outside candle, outline candle, means you have more buyers than sellers. Red outline candle, more sellers than buyers. And I have a screenshot here in the presentation, but I like to show live charts. So what triple screen assessment of order flow means, we have to have the order flow going in the same direction on all time frames. These are the order flow candles. Inside the candles, what we call are hybrid candles. So it shows the price action in the Renko candles. So for those who have traded Renko bars before, you know that you really don't know where price is unless you look on your scale on the right to see where your price is. But we use the hybrid candles a lot, right? So our charts are displayed like this. We have our indicators are displayed in these line indicators, which makes it super easy. Either everything's all green or everything's all red. You only need to look at one chart. One chart. The colored background means that 3 time frames in agreement. The C2 indicator, which I'll get into, brings in the 4th time frame. So the second most powerful force that moves price is the triple screen assessment of the Laguerre. And I showed you the hybrid candles with the wicks. So again, we want the Laguerre indicator to be going the same direction on 3 time frames. Right? I showed you the hybrid candles. So next thing is what we developed with the modified Laguerre. So it takes all these indicators that show momentum, we add an algorithm, and we develop the modified Laguerre. So what does the modified Laguerre do? The modified Laguerre is an oscillator, but it does not show divergence like other oscillators. It only shows the strength of the trend, right? So the modified Laguerre is on the bottom here. So right above it here is the line chart for the modified Laguerre on the bottom. So when it crosses below 20, it turns red. When it crosses back above 20 and is sloping up, it'll be lime green. When it crosses above 80, it will turn dark green, and when it crosses below and is sloping down, it's orange. Well, we only trade on dark green and red, period. I don't trade on yellow, I'm orange, I don't trade on lime green, right? We want the modified Laguerre to be pinned at 100 going up or at 0 going down, so we get our acceleration dots, right? So now let's talk about the quant lines. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so now let's talk about the quant lines. the quant lines are the third most powerful force that moves price. Okay, our quant lines use our AI engine, which used to be, years ago, they used to call artificial intelligence a neural network. It's had a few names before they came up with, now everything is AI. So what we did on the quant lines is we took 28 market components, we have them plugged into our AI system for correlations. So, most people know about correlation. Most people don't pay much attention to correlation, but we do, because it's important and it's very powerful. And I'll tell you, in all the years that I've been trading, I can count on one finger how many people that I bought classes or I took their classes talked about correlation. Very, very few, but we do. So if the ES is going up, wouldn't you want to see NQYM and RTY going up at the same time? You want to see the markets all being bought up at the same time. So let's say ES is just going down. Let's say ES is going up, but NQYM and R are going down and RTY is flat. Well, the old saying, a rising tide floats all boats. Well, it's kind of the same. When people are buying up the market, they'll be buying all the market, whether it be the YM, the Russell, the NQ, or the ES. And that's what our quant lines do. Our quant lines tell us when we have two quant lines, a short term and a long term. So if you look at here, the bottom one is the long term, the top one is the short term. All right, so now let's keep on going. So what we did was we added a fourth time frame for higher probability trades. And the reason why we did that is because we only want to take trades when the market is trending. And you won't get the C2 indicator unless the market is trending. Right? So the C2 indicator just adds another time frame. So the C2 indicator is this stair-stepping line on top of the candles. It'll be green going up and dark red going down. And what this does, it brings in a fourth time frame. So now we just don't have triple screen assessment from the outline, the color of the background, but we have the C2 that brings in a fourth time frame. So the reason why we developed the C2 was because we want to make sure, again, we want to make sure that we're in a good trend. Right? These lines here, the dashed lines are pivots. The solid lines are higher time frame support resistance areas. So putting it all together is really simple, right? So here are the rules and the setups. And I always say, if you can follow these easy to follow rules, you should have very high probability trades. I am not saying that every trade is going to be a winner, because it's impossible. And if anybody ever tells you that every trade's a winner, you should run the other way, right? And I won't do that, because I used to be on the other side of the mic. I used to be in the webinars watching. And if somebody said to me, well, we have a 95 to a 98% win rate, I log out of the webinar, because I know they're full of crap. All right. And I won't do that, because I know how it is to be on the other side. Right. So here are the rules and the setups. The first thing you need is a colored background, either green or dark pink. That's 3 time frames in agreement. The next thing we need is the C2 indicator to bring in the 4th time frame. The next thing we need is we have the solid line, which is our trend line, and the dot dash line is our 15. It's not just a plain old 15 period moving average, all right? It has a algorithm in it, but we want the trend line above the 15 going up and below the 15 going down, right? If you have a pivot or a higher time frame support or resistance area, you must wait until the body of the candle breaks that pivot by 3/4 of a candle. and then you have to have a pullback candle to get in the trade. And this is how we sidestep a lot of losing trades, by using that pullback candle. And we'll get into that that strategy in a little bit, right? The next thing is both quants, like I said, he's going to either be red or green. Both quants need to be red or green. The multiple time frame Laguerre needs to be red or green. The modified Laguerre needs to be red or green and pinned at 100 to get, or 0 to get our acceleration dots. So on this trade, the setup was, and the outcome was 63 ticks, right? We can exit on when the 15 changes color from green to yellow or green to red. And the same thing if you're short, if it changes from red to yellow or red to green, our execution platform that we use will exit the trade, right, for you. All right. So trading with the money flow tracker rules, and this is one of the biggest benefits of this software, is it will keep you out of non-trending markets, which usually leads to losses. So and that's where most traders lose money. So look at it this way. You're trading, right? You're having a decent day trading one day, the next day, let's say you traded on Monday, you made $1,000, right? The markets were trending, it was easy to trade, you made money. The next day, choppy, you end up giving that $1,000 back, right? The next day, kind of trendy, but not that bad, so you made a little bit of money. The next day, choppy, you end up giving that money back. See, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. We only trade on trending days. You won't get setups unless the market is trending, period. So remember, it's okay not to trade every day. That's why if I show you this, that's why we don't trade every day. So look at March, look at February, right? We didn't trade every day. Look at April, right? We didn't trade every day in April, and we still did $6,200, right? So you don't have to trade every day, and that's most people's biggest problem, is that they try to trade markets that are choppy, non-trending. And when the markets are choppy, non-trending, we don't want to trade them. And if they're choppy and non-trending, the money flow tracker will keep you out of those markets. If you follow the rules and take qualified trades, you won't get setups in a choppy market. All right, so here's a trade that I took. This was on CL. See, it broke the pivot. We didn't get a pullback. This was a fast move. We got a little pullback panel really fast. I wanted to get on here, but it moved away from me too quick. So then we got another pullback candle. We got in we placed our order. We got in. We got 10 ticks on our first target, which is $100, and we got 55 ticks on our second profit target, which would be $550. So that's $650 on this one trade, right? So I'm going to show you a trade that we did today. Here's a trade on gold today. Here are my markers. This is my trade I took, right? So what did I see here? So the shaded areas, when I have my chart small, they look like it's just a line like that, but they're shaded areas, right? So these shaded areas are from the higher time frame. I call them higher time frame support and resistance. They're actually higher time frame volume zones, right? So what did we see here? We broke the pivot, right? This was a 3/4 candle. These candles weren't pullback candles. We finally got a pullback candle here. You can see the wick coming out of the bottom here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. How's that? Right? We got the pullback candle we were waiting for. When it pulled back, we placed our order to sell on up close. We got our first profit target, and then I trailed it. And we were coming into this higher time frame support. So I trailed my stop a little closer, and I got stopped out. Well, this trade here was a $600 trade, just this one trade. And actually, this was the only trade that we did today. Where is it? Today's May, $676, right? And that was the only trade we took today. But who cares? We still made $676, right? So this was a trade that I took today, that we took in the room, honestly. And it was the only setup that we had all day. All day. So the Money Flow Tracker software will give you clear and exact entries, clear and exact exits, and you get all your pre-configured ATMs as part of your software package. So now I'm going to show you how I trade breakouts and sidestep losing trades. And I call it the pull back and go strategy. So let me grab my pen because I need a marker for this. And let's pick a color that you can see. So, okay, so the market's coming down. We come into a higher time frame and a pivot support area. We wait for it to break. As it's pulling back, once it pulls back about a half a candle, right? Then we click on sell on down close, right? So we'll have an order sitting here, right? It's hard to draw with the mouse. Let me go ahead and erase that. Okay. So as this pulls back about half the candle, I can't draw it. We place our order on the bottom, sell on down close. Well, what happens? It pulls back, and let's say the market's coming down, it pulls back, which we're looking for, and it goes up like that. Well, as soon as this candle closes up, this order will get automatically canceled. So this saves us on a lot of trades. I think yesterday we sidestepped like 5 losing trades using this strategy. Because the markets just weren't following through and we were getting a lot of head fakes. And this strategy works really well. Do sometimes we get taken into the market on this? Yeah, sometimes, not very often. But this strategy really helps us sidestep losing trades. Right? Here's another one. Here's one on RTY. Broke the pivot, 3/4 candle, got the pullback candle, place our order. First profit target, second profit target. Here's another one on crude oil. Here's 2 of them on the Canadian dollar. All right, any questions so far? I know Rory's been answering a lot of questions. You can contact Rory about that, John. All right. So now we're going to talk about the auto trader. The auto trader is my favorite subject. All right. It's been haven't had a lot of trades lately because the markets have been so choppy this week because we really haven't had any news to really be concerned talk about this week that gives the market some sort of catalyst. So it's just been a really choppy week. So what does the auto trader do? Well, here's a trade that it took for 704 ticks. Here's a trade it took for 665 ticks. Here's a trade it took for 1,016 ticks. And here's another one. So what does it do? Well, basically what it does is it follows the rules, right? Here are the settings, but I am going to open up the strategy so that I can show you the settings, right? A little more elaborate. All right. So what are the rules of the money flow tracker? Well, the first thing is we want the bias and the C2 indicator, right? The second rule is we want the Laguerre to be red or green. We want the modified Laguerre to be red or green. We can use a volume threshold. We want the 15 and the 50 to be red or green. We want the 15 to be red or green. 50 red or green. We only want to trade long above and below. The MA diff. So I get asked all the time about the MA diff. What is the MA diff? And I'll explain that, right? But I'm telling the strategy to take trades when all these conditions are met. We want to clear the pivots. So it won't wait for a pullback, but we trade this on a pretty large bar size on MNQ only right now. And in order for you to even get a setup, you have to have a trend. You won't have it. We want it to clear the volume zones at a higher time frame support and resistance. We want the quants to be red or green, right? We can set our first target, second target. We want to trade long above the VWAP and short below the VWAP, right? It has built in, where is it? It has built in money management. So we have lots of traders that have jobs, lots of traders that subscribe to the software really just for the auto trader, right? So what they do is they say, you know what? I want to set a profit target of 500, and I want to have I'm going to set a $250 loss for the day. You can have it start at 9:32. You can have it stop at, let's say, 3:55, which would be 15:55, right? And because we're trading with a prop firm, we have an exit at 3,630 seconds, which is like a couple minutes before the market closes, right? And so what this does is when all these conditions are met, it will initiate a trade. It will initiate a trade. So I'm going to talk about the MA diff. I'm going to explain it to you right now. So I get asked all the time, what is the MA diff? What is the MA diff? The MA diff is the difference between where price is now away from the 50-period EMA. When price, we have different settings for different markets depending on the bar size. So this is our way of determining if the market is overbought or oversold. Because as you know, when the market gets too far away from the 50, it tends to revert back to it. So when we get in a trade, if the MA diff is too high, we don't take the trade. Because, okay, so let's say on gold on a 4-unit Renko bar, the MA diff is 58. So once the MA diff gets to low in the low 50s, mid 50s, we won't take a trade because we're expecting a pullback. And we see this all the time in the room, every day. You know, we skip a trade because the MA diff is too high. And then we're glad that we did because 1, 2, 3 candles more, it usually does a pullback. Usually does a pullback. So here are some of the equity curves on the Money Flow Tracker Auto Trader. This was a trade that I took, and I was in this trade, and I said, you know what? We hit first profit target really quick. And I said, I really want to record this. I want to record this trade. So we hit our first profit target of 80 ticks. Of 80 ticks. So I'm going to fast forward here, and it's still going up. So, you know, it's the MA diff started getting a little high. Right now it's at 319, 321. It started getting a little high, so I started tightening my stop, right? So look, we're up 423 ticks now. We're up 537 ticks now. The MA diff was way high, over 400, so I tightened my stop, right? And then I got stopped out, 570 ticks, right? I got stopped out. So what was that? Well, if I'm trading 4 micros, that means it's $2 a tick on 4 micros. So we took our first profit target off, 2 off at 80 ticks, so that's $80. And the last 2 off at 570 ticks, so that's $80, and 570 ticks is a $650 trade, and I didn't do a darn thing but just turn on the auto trader, period. And like I said, we have a lot of people that are trading just the auto trader because it has money management parameters in it, it has stop parameters in it, it has everything. All right, so let's see. So now let's talk about how to pass the evaluations. It's not that hard. It is hard, but lately it's hard because the markets have been so choppy. But this is most people's problem with the evaluations or whatever they are called by the prop firm we're using. They don't focus on their trading. They don't focus on the process. They focus on the results. Okay? You don't, most professional traders, practically all professional institutional traders, don't focus on their results. They don't focus on how much money they're going to make. They focus on how much money they could lose. They're money managers, risk managers, and that's what we are. We're risk managers. We focus on the risk that we're taking, right? And when you start focusing on your risk, you start making more money. Instead of focusing on how much you're going to make, focus on how much you could lose, right? So, and focus on trading well. What do I mean by trading well? Focus on taking good prop setups. If you take a good setup and it doesn't work, okay, you can let that slide. You did your job. Your job is to sit in front of the screen, wait for a setup. When you get a setup, to take the trade. If you try to pick and choose the setups that you're going to take, you're going to pick most of the losers, and the ones you let slide are going to be the big winners. It just works out that way. I don't know why. It just does, right? So, the challenges or evaluations, whatever they're called, are really designed to make you fail by the parameters they put in place. These prop firms, they want people that are good traders that are making money because that's how they make their money, right? Like, they put these parameters like how many trading days to pass. I had a trader in the room. He sent me a message saying, hey, I'm really doing good with my evaluation account. I have like $150 left and I'll pass my first one. And he says, what should I do? I said, switch to micros. He said, yeah, but then I have to pay another month fee for the evaluation. I said, so it's 80% off from Apex right now. You're paying $33. Well, he didn't listen to me. And he blew the account, and now he had to start all over again. And he sends me a message. He goes, I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. You were right. I should have paid the $30. I would have been a much happier guy. All right. The trailing drawdown. That's a big one why most people do. Sloppy trading, revenge trading, impulse trading, stress, all these things do not help your trading. So if you focus on trading well, focus on trading your setups, you'll do fine. This is my process. If you think that you are going to sign up for an account and you're going to get a $50,000 account and you're trading $50,000, right? No, wrong. You're not. Think about it this way. You have a drawdown on a 50K account through Apex or Blue Knox, a $2,500 drawdown. That is what you're trading. You have to trade your drawdown. Sometimes I get stopped out on a trade and it keeps going, but that's okay because the drawdown is based off the highest balance of your account. So let's say you get a new account, you make $1,000, you're in a trade, you're up $1,000, but you don't take that trade off until you're only up 500. Well, you just cost yourself $500 from your drawdown. So I usually, like on this gold trade from today, let's see if I can find it real quick. It was like around, where was it? Oh, this is today. Where are you? right here, right? So I was in this trade and I left my stop where it was. After I get my first profit target, it goes to break even. I left it there. We got to this higher time frame resistance, so I tightened it up a little bit. It went through it, which very rarely it really goes through these volume zones, the higher time frame resistance without stalling, but this one just did, right? And then we got to this one, and I started tightening my stop up, and I got stopped out, which is okay. It was like 55 ticks, $10 a tick. So, I got stopped out, and I was fine with it because you know what? I didn't let it come back on me very much. So it didn't hurt my trailing drawdown. All right. So I don't risk any more than 10% of my daily drawdown, of my drawdown. I risk $250 per trade, which means on NQ, we use a 40 tick stop. So I only trade micros. And actually on NQ, I'm only trading micros now. Why? Because it's hard to see right now, but you can actually see it right now, right? So look at this. MNQ, since the market reopened at 6 o'clock, has traded 11,465 contracts. NQ has only traded 4,400, almost 3 times the amount of volume, right? So we switched to MNQ instead of trading NQ, and I like the price action better. It follows us pretty close. Sometimes there's a few ticks difference, but it trades much more volume, right? Institutional traders probably aren't trading MNQ, but it just seems to work better for us. So this is my win rate. So my win rate is 74%. So I don't really have to worry about being profitable. But if you're a one-to-one trader, you need to be at least 60% to be profitable. If you're a 2-to-1 trader, you could be 40% profitable and still make money. 3-to-1, you could be 30%. Most professional traders are only 40% win rate, but their wins are huge and their losses are smaller, right? So I don't worry about, me personally, I don't have to worry about this because I know what my win-loss rate is, right? So rather than avoid risk, take intelligent risk, and this will give you a competitive edge. Like this little mouse, he's saying, I'm going to get that piece of cheese, but this thing here, if it hits me in the head, it's okay. I'm wearing a hard hat. All right. Any other questions? All right. So what is trading success? Trading success equals financial freedom, equals no financial pressure. You work from home, you have no boss, you have no commute, and you have the advantages of being a full-time trader. So I don't look at what I do on a daily basis. I look at what I do at the end of the month. All right. So now you have two choices. I've spilled everything. I spilled all the beans. I showed you everything I could possibly show you. I show you that we're profitable. So now you have two choices. Either if you're profitable and you're making money, continue on your path and God bless you. And thanks for coming. But if you're not making money and you're a frustrated trader, especially in these markets, okay, come aboard, work with all the traders that we have. We trade from 9:30. We open the room at 9. We're usually done 11:15, 11:30, and that's it. So the Money Flow Tracker software, easy to learn. You get all the templates and workspaces. It's perfect for beginners. You couldn't get an easier system with high probability trades that is easier to learn. It's perfect for any account size. We have lots of traders that just like to trade micros. And you can trade Forex, future stocks, whatever you want on it. So what we did was for the first 10 traders that come aboard this evening, we have some powerful additional software. All right. So the first thing that you'll get for the first 10 traders is the market scanner, which I just showed you mine. So what is the market scanner? So we trade different bar sizes on different markets for like natural gas, gold. Well, gold probably shouldn't be. Natural gas and crude oil, we trade at 2510. So we're always looking at this column. Gold, we trade at 41020. You know, so we have different bar sizes that we trade for different markets. You can get, it gets the, I added the ADR, I added the rollover, how many days to rollover, and I added my lag timer indicator because I wanted to be able to monitor my lag times, right? So you get this as part of the fast action bonus. It's a $999 value. You will get that included. You'll get the execution platform, which is we call our NDT. And this is what we use to execute trades. So when you break that pivot and you get that pullback candle, if you're going long, as soon as that pullback candle pulls back to half the candle, you just click buy on up close and it will place an order right there. And if that candle closes down, it will automatically cancel the order. And this is where you put your ATMs. This is a $14.99 value. You will get that as part of your package. You will also get the Masterclass series on futures, forex, stocks, and options. Now, I've watched these. They're really good. You'll get 1 month in my trading room, right? And our trading rooms were evaluated by Dr. Allen. His name is Dr. Victor Allen. He did a study and he reviewed more than 225 trading websites and evaluated them using several factors, including transparency, proven track record, and assisting traders with educational material and online support. And we came out on top. And this was published in Traders World and Stock and Commodities magazine. So you get a month in my trading room for free, a part of your package. So this is the package we put together for you guys. The Money Flow Tracker software normally is $23.95. We're giving a 50% discount. So it's $11.97 for the year. It's less than $100 a month. If you would like to have a lifetime license, we're giving 50% off a lifetime license at $29.99. If you want to do a monthly, we're giving $200 off the monthly at $397. And for the first 10 traders that come aboard, you will get the Auto Trader, which alone is $29.97 value. You'll get the NDT, you'll get the market scanner, you'll get the trade room, you'll get all the tutorials, and you'll get your software installed by Charles. He does, all you have to do is let him log into your computer. He'll install everything and get you all set up, ready to go. So you'll get white glove installation. And as an extra bonus, we're going to give you the Money Flow Tracker minute templates for traders that like to trade on swing trade, higher time frames. All right. So here's my commitment to you. Again, is when you subscribe to the Money Flow Tracker software is to help you become a successful trader. You know what? I've coached hundreds of traders in the room. And honestly, some of them have become really a lot better traders than me. You know, it's kind of hard to trade when you're running a trading room, but some of them have become really excellent traders. And I'm very proud of them. I mean, we have a great group of traders in the room. So, you know, remember one thing, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. So again, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. You're just not using the right tools to be successful. You know, most traders that aren't successful are not trading with institutional order flow. They're trading with retail traders. And what do retail traders do? Most of the time, lose money. So why would you trade with retail traders if you know they lose money? So wait until the institutions are trading and you'll be fine. Paul, no problem. Rory is going to send out the recording either later this evening after it's rendered or first thing in the morning. We always send out a recording. So, you know, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. You're just not using the right tools. It's like trying to pound a nail with a screwdriver. Yeah, you work at it long enough, you'll get that nail in, but wouldn't you be better off using a hammer, right? So again, the money flow tracker software is totally unique and give you the edge to trade with institutional order flow. So again, my commitment to you is not to just teach you about how to read the setups. I could teach a 5-year-old to read setups, but it's also to help you develop that mental mindset you must have in order to achieve financial independence. You know, I've had a lot of traders in the room that have learned to be patient and disciplined, that weren't patient and disciplined before, right? And they've learned patience and discipline from me, and they're really happy, and some of them are doing really well. And they don't take trades every day. That's like we don't take trades every day. You have to have a setup. All right. So if you go to the GoToWebinar chat window, where did it go? Where did you go? Oh, there you are. And it went away here for a second. Bring it in here again. So if you go to the GoToWebinar chat window, you don't need the coupon codes. Just click on the link. And if you click on the link, let me get this out of the way, it will bring you to this web page for the Money Flow Tracker software. What you do is you scroll all the way down to the bottom. You pick, let's say you want to do an annual, right? Click on annual. You don't need a coupon code. Rory has set it up for the webinar that you don't need a coupon code, right? So if you see this, you can see it's $23.95. It's $23.95. All right, I don't need to apply. So it comes out to $11.97. And when you renew next year in 2025, it will be $11.97. So we're going to give you the $11.97. We're going to give you the discounted rate, not just for this year, but when you renew next year, you'll get the same discounted rate. So how many of you lost $100 this month? Me. A lot more than 100, I hate to say. Getting all these things saying, you know, anyways. This comes out to a little less than $100 a month, right? Is it worth it for $100 a month to become a profitable trader? So all you have to do is go to the web, click on the link, go to here, and sign up, put all your information, and we'll get you all ready to go. All righty? Or if you prefer, you could put your name and your phone number in the questions box, and we will give you a call after the webinar, and you can ask as many questions as you would like from probably Rory or myself. A lot of people want to ask questions before they make a purchase. A lot of people don't like to make purchases online. So if you'd like to put your name, yes, you can use a NinjaTrader account for this. We trade on NinjaTrader. We have another product that is very similar to the Money Flow Tracker for Thinkorswim, but we trade mostly on NinjaTrader. Okay? Just put your name and your phone number in the questions box, or either myself or Rory will give you a call after the webinar, and you can ask as many questions as you want. You have absolutely no obligation to purchase, and we won't bug you. If you say you're not interested, we're not going to call you every week asking you. I hate when people do that to me, and we will not do that to our clients. All righty? So we're down to my favorite slides. So look, it's a well-known fact that 98% of day and swing traders are losing money. And this guy is a retail trader, and he's just flushing his money because he's losing money, right? But our traders don't. Because when the retail trader is flushing his money or losing his money, who do you think is taking that money? Institutional traders. I have a friend that was an institutional trader, and he calls retail traders the guppies. He says, we love feeding on the guppies, right? But our traders are making money because we trade along with the institutional money flow. And that's the key. Trade with the institutional money flow, you'll be fine. Because they are the ones that really move the market. So again, the special is $11.97 a year, lifetime, is 50% off at $29.99. If you want to do a monthly, it's $397 or $200 a month. And Rory says that we have 4 more left. And he said to welcome aboard Barbara, Pat, Steve, Ellen, and Alan. Okay, welcome aboard. We'll see you in the room tomorrow. All right. So you can trade this with a NinjaTrader account. You don't have to trade with a prop firm if you don't want to. It's either way. And you'll get. So this is a reel of probably 30 testimonials given by our clients. But this woman here, I don't know why that happened. Okay, so this woman here was in a webinar just like you are, and she really liked what Mark was talking about, and she really was interested in learning how to trade. But so she contacted Mark and she said, listen, I don't know anything about trading. I really want to learn how to be a trader. Can you help me? So he said, sure. So like she says, Brightline provided me with the charts and the software that I wanted, and Mark taught her everything. He took her under his wing. He sat her in front of a computer. He gave her a screenshot of the setups, and he said, when you get a green background and you have all these things line up, I want you to click on this button that says buy on up close. So she did that for 4 months straight. That's all she did. Now, to make a long story short, she's a 6-figure trader, and she doesn't trade every day either. This is an email that got written into Rightline by another David. And this is a guy that was in a webinar just like this. And he sends me a message over the questions box, and he says, I am the world's worst trader. I've been at trading for 10, 12 years, and all I do is spin my wheels, and I'm thinking of giving up, but I'm willing to give you a shot. If this is my last hurrah. So he signed up, and look, I'm not going to read this whole thing, obviously, but look, right now he has a 70% win rate. Right now he has 10 Apex funded account. No, he said to me this morning, he's got 15 Apex funded accounts and 10 Blue Knox funded accounts, right? So this is what his process is. The Money Flow Tracker software, along with David's methodology and rules, allows me to act like a robot and eliminate any guesswork or emotions from my trading. We use the NDT, which allows us a single push button to enter trades. So every morning, every day, it's simple for him. He sees the setup, he pushes the button. Sees the setup, pushes the button, right? And that's it. If he doesn't see a setup, he's not pushing the button. And that's it. And he's doing fantastic. And this is a guy that says to me, I'm the world's worst trader, right? And within, I'd say, a month, maybe 5 weeks, he already had like 5 accounts passed. Okay. So again, this is our special that we're giving. If you'd like to if you want to go to the website and sign up, that's great. If you want to get a call back from one of us, just put your name and your phone number in the questions box and we'll give you a call. You're under no obligation. And I think that's pretty much it. So any questions? I know that Rory's been answering a bunch of questions. Oh, okay. Welcome, he said welcome, Greg and Sergio and Hugo. Welcome aboard. Thank you for signing up, and I'll be working very close with you guys to get you up and running and becoming a profitable trader. All righty. Anybody have any more questions? So if you want to just go to Rightline Trading, you can go here, just type in Rightline Trading. I can't type right now. Right, GHTLINE, rightlinetrading.com. You can go to the home page, just scroll down here, Money Flow Tracker, click on it, and it'll bring you to that page with the link. All righty, and then we have tons of testimonials that were sent in by my students. I call them my students because that's the way I look at them, as my students. So, alrighty. Well, again, I want to thank you for spending an hour and 10 minutes with me, learning about the Money Flow Tracker software. You will get a recording if you would like to watch it again. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got. So have a great evening. Be safe. God bless everybody. And God bless the United States of America. Take care and have a great evening. And if you have any questions, you can always write in to us also. All right? Take care and good night.